Late night boxing talks. Talking about some late night boxing talks. It's the late night boxing talks. Yo, man, there's so much stuff going on right now. So much news that I got inundated with. I was going to do when the news broke about Pacquiao versus Spence, I was going to do my Ramirez Taylor video. And I'm like, nah, I got to do a video about this. I'm going to try to squeeze in a Ramirez versus Taylor video tomorrow before the fight, because obviously the fight is the fucking fight is at night. So I got plenty of time to do it, but it's been a wild week, bro. It's been all kinds of news. It's all good. That's how it be. That's how that be. About to see what's poppity popping. There's so much news happening right now, B. I already see the PBC shows asking the rhetorical questions. What's a bigger fight, Pacquiao versus Spencer, Canelo versus Plant? I really don't know. Because you could say that Pacquiao versus Spence is a big fight. You could say that. And you could say that Canelo versus Plant is a bigger fight. Though ultimately, that's going to come down to which fight generates more money. That's what that's going to come down to. And I don't know. A lot of people still seem to think that the American market dominates every other market that's out there. And time has shown that that's not true. And that's becoming less and less true over time. But we'll see. You know what I mean? I don't know what to think about. I'm not upset that Errol is fighting Manny. I'm not upset about that. It's like, well, that's something that anybody would have did. Like, anybody would have made that choice. If they had to choose between fighting Manny Pacquiao and somebody else, they're going to choose Manny Pacquiao if they have a choice. So you really can't get mad at that. But I already uploaded a video about that, so y'all can watch that as soon as this live ends. As far as Ramirez Taylor, man, I don't know, man. It's been a wild week as far as news. There's just been a lot of stuff going on, and it's just been a wild ass week, man. It's so grievy. It's so grievy. About to hit this joint. Hey, what's good, Juan? 70-30 Spence Crawford. Shit, he might offer him 90-10, bro. He might offer him 90-10 now. That's real spit. A lot of people are angry at the situation. I was good, Tone. A lot of people are angry for Terrence Crawford on behalf of Terrence Crawford. I share that feeling because it's like a part of me still feels like, look, anybody would have chose to fight Manny Pacquiao, and that's all well and good. But it's a lot of things that don't get said. Like, for example, when did Errol fight Danny? He fought Danny when? Let me see when that was exactly. Just to make sure. Yeah, see, he fought Danny December, right? And okay, December, now we in May. And there's a feeling like, yeah, you know, you fighting Manny. And that's what a lot of other welterweights would have decided to do. But it's like, underneath it all, the people that's mad for Crawford, like myself a little bit, it's like you just don't want to fight that dude. And you lucked out. You got the Pacquiao fight. Al Heyman delivered for you. Props to him for delivering you that fight. But it still looked like what it looked like. And what it looked like is you just don't want nothing to do with that dude. And you can have all them guys that love you to death and they'll sit there and argue over you for 24 hours and all of that. Them dudes is weird anyway that they willing to do that. Because, yo, dog, like, do you realize how you look capping that hard? At the end of the day, it looked like what it looked like regardless of what you're saying. They just didn't want to put that dude in there with that guy. That's what it looked like. Because what do people, what kind of chances do they give Manny Pacquiao under those circumstances? That's a legitimate question. What kind of chances do you give him in that situation? 42 years old, the night of the fight, he'll be 2 years inactive, having not fought in 2 years. What kind of chances do you give him? Yeah, he's a legend, 8th division champion, beat Keith Thurman, beat all these people. That don't change that the man will be 2 years inactive the night of the fight. That don't change that. So it's like, it is what it is, man. It just is what it is. Like, boxing is a very imperfect sport that at times is not very sporting. That sometimes the sporting element, not sometimes, a good amount of the time, it just gets sucked out of the shit because there's so many situations where what you see is that the competitors don't want to compete and they don't really want to know. They don't want to know. There's too many situations like that. There's a lot of situations like that. Conor Brooke, Spence and Crawford, what's going on with Fury and Joshua and Wilder and all that stuff. Like this, it's a lot of situations like that. So it's those other divisions, like the cruiserweight division, not the welterweight division, but the junior welterweight division, lightweight, featherweight, lightweight, super featherweight, featherweight. It's those divisions that I tend to appreciate because those is divisions that sometimes, or at least most of the time, are not as political. You know, one of the main reasons I love the World Boxing Super Series the first season in the cruiserweight division is because it wasn't no politics. It was just a bunch of champions that wanted to get it on. And that's the best, that's the most you could ask for. That first season when they had all them champions from cruiserweight, they just wanted to get it on. And that's what you want to see. That's why we watch. So we can see the best guys versus the best guys to see who the best guy is. But all this other stuff get brought into it, and it's like, well, you kind of fucking up the reason that I even watch this shit. That you kind of are. Do you honestly think that I want to see Charlo versus Montiel? Who do you think wants to see that? Like, the people at Showtime is bugging me out with that fight. Like, you really think people want to see that? You think people really want to see Tank versus Barrios? All right, we'll see how many of them wanted to see that shit. Dudes is calling Manny the GOAT for fighting. I mean, you got to give him his props for that. You got to give him his props for that because he could have retired off that Thurman win, bro. He could have retired off of that. And he would have went out like a real fairy tale type shit. But what I said earlier in the earlier live, ain't no fairy tales, bro. 9 times out of 10, when a motherfucker go out, they go out on their shield. Fucking Cotto dislocated his shoulder in that Saddam Ali fight. I remember he got injured in the middle of the goddamn fight. It's a lot of shit, man. Facts. Fuck Charlo and his like, and that shit just goes on. And you got people. The shit that kill me is not even that you have promoters and managers protecting their investment to some degree. What kills me is the fans that defend that shit. Like, I'm not telling you that Canelo should not fight Demetrius or he should not fight Charlo, all these other guys. I'm telling you that any one of them is just as good as any one of them because he the cash cow and he got the resume. But when it comes, if I say, yo, I want to see Andre versus Charlo, you're going to have Charlo fans acting like I said a bad word or like I cursed out their mother. Like, nah, they should fight. If Canelo is trying to do his thing over there and he ain't finna fight either of y'all need to be fighting. Motherfuckers don't like that idea for whatever reason. And you gonna try to beat me on my head and tell me that I'm supposed to be okay with Charlo versus Montiel. That's when the shit gets weird. Like, nah, you okay with that shit because you on some other shit. You okay with that shit. You cool with Tank fighting Munoz and Ruiz and Fonseca and Gamboa. You don't want to see him fight nobody. Like, what is wrong with you? You don't want to. I say it all the time. He could have won. He could have won that Tevin Farmer fight. They didn't want to let him have it. Hey, what's good, Almighty? What's good, Christian? What's good, Juan at Paraguay, SSB? It's just a lot of weird shit in boxing right now, but it's mostly because people injected a lot of agendas into the sport. That's the other thing. These days, they make it about anything other than boxing. They make it about everything besides boxing. Now, that's what they do now. It's about everything other than boxing. When is the Fox P? I don't even know. All they showed was that fight. They haven't even released the schedule yet. PBC plays, yeah, like most of the time that's why I don't like that brand of boxing. Like they're breaking it down into brands now. And what I notice is that some of the most competitive fights are by way of Top Rank and Matchroom, where like, yeah, a highly touted contender might lose case in point. They could have protected Josh Kelly. They could have did that if they wanted to. They could have had him fighting 3 and 4 and 5 no-hopers. They didn't do that. They put him in a fight with a real fighter, and he lost his and that's why I fuck with them, because it can happen. Like they not spoon feeding motherfuckers over there, man. Like, nah, we got to sell entertaining fights. That's what we in the business of doing. So whatever gotta happen, gotta happen. Matchroom does that shit. Motherfucking Top Rank really does that shit. Because they guys being real hard motherfucking fights. They being some real hard ass. Look at that Navarrete versus Diaz fight. Before that, look at the Navarrete versus Rubin fight. Before that, they put Isaac Dogbay when he was champion in there with Navarrete. Ain't nobody on no applesauce diet over there. And that's why I prefer a lot of their fights over these star matchups at the PBC. That's why I prefer it, because it's like, bro, come on now. Like, really? Unified is this weekend. We're being told, yeah, but ain't nobody gonna buy that shit. Like, look, man, I ain't gonna forecast how many buys that shit get. All I can tell you is that there's no chance, there's zero chance of me buying that fight. And I don't know how it is for y'all, but ask yourself, are you gonna buy that fight? And then ask around, yo, who gonna buy that fight? Because I know I ain't buying that shit. Are y'all gonna buy that shit? Who's buying that shit? Exactly, Russ. That's a real fight this weekend, bro. That's a real fight. That's a real motherfucking fight. Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, that's a real fight, bro. Everything is on the line in that fight. Both of them guys is dangerous. Both of them guys got the same sweet spot. That's mid-range to inside. That mean they both like to fight in close quarters and let them go. That's a real fight. All this Tank versus this no-hoper, Tank versus that no-hoper, Tank versus this no-hope. Like, who you think want to see that shit? You think motherfuckers want to see Broner versus Santiago? Now, I'm going to say when he fought Pedraza was an elite level fighter. It's just that was like really 4 or 5 years ago, bro, that fight. That fight was dumb long ago. Wasn't that 2017? That's like 4 years ago. I think Fury Wilder 3 will do less pay-per-views than the second. Well, I've been talking about this a lot on the channel and in a lot of the videos that they planted the seeds of controversy early last year with the whole Glovegate fiasco. So in all likelihood, don't be surprised if you see that used as a marketing tool to help sell the fight. It's not a secret that shit came from Wilder, bro. Wilder told all them YouTubers that shit. So, I mean, they're going to use that as a marketing angle to sell a fight. You ain't see the shit that Fury said? He said he going to have knuckle dusters in his hands. You're right, Julius. That's why Showtime yeah, like they ratings is consistently shit is consistently bad. They fucking picked up Jake Paul. That should tell you all you need to know. They're like, damn, y'all real desperate. Y'all gave Jake Paul a multi-fight deal. So let me see if I understand this. And this is another reason I don't like Showtime. Y'all didn't want to pay Clarissa right. And I know that she don't have the following that he got. But it was y'all job to get her that following. That was y'all job to do that. This you can't put it on her to be the fighter and the promoter. That was your job to do that. You got to do it in a way where people want to tune in and see. Y'all being lazy, just saying the same shit over undisputed, 2 gold medals, undisputed, 2 gold medals. You're not building up none of her opponents the way you would with the guys. But y'all could give Jake Paul a multi-fight deal. You literally let Clarissa Shields go so you could sign a Jake Paul. And I know, like I said, I know the metrics. It's the metrics. I understand it. It's just that, yo, if that shit wasn't right, it's because you didn't do your job. It ain't happening for no reason. You supposed to do that job, and you didn't do it. You rather stage celebrity fuck matches, bullshit matches for influencers. It is what it is. You still the WBA regular super diamond silver? Yeah, man. I got my shit in the trunk of the car. I don't know yet, Russ, but I'm expecting them to. I believe that they will. I believe that they will. Daniel Vasquez, Showtime is going to be out of... We'll see, bro. I don't rule it out. People been saying it for a long time, and they haven't left yet, but I wouldn't rule it out. Eddie got played, so Manny versus Spence wouldn't have competition. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I don't know. Nah, DAZN never had Shields, answer. DAZN never had Shields. What she had was a one-off because Showtime let her go over there. Showtime, she was still under contract with Showtime. I used to think she was a free agent when she did that. Come to find out, she was still under contract with Showtime, but they let her go over there for one-off, for one fight. I believe that was the Hannah Rankin fight. Yeah, it already happened. Mariana made her quit in the corner. They all just want a steady paycheck over at the P. Yeah, man, like that is, it's no desire, ain't no passion over there, bro. Ain't no passion over there. I kind of feel bad for Showtime because to give credit where it's due, the Figueroa Neri, yeah, it was actually a decent card. It actually was a decent card, and Figueroa versus Neri wasn't a bad fight. It's just that you could see that, like, yo, both of y'all is a level below MJ Akhmadaliev, both of y'all, Neri and Figueroa, y'all both a level below him, and y'all a level below Stephen Fulton. Like, y'all are, like, anyone, those two will beat the both of y'all. You think Manny owed the PBC one more? No, I don't. I think he there was shit saying that the Mikey Garcia fight was going to end up on DAZN, but the pandemic hit. So what that tells me is that Manny was free to roam, and I guess that he got the best offer from PBC because they remember what the reports were saying. He's talking to Ryan, he's talking to Crawford, money in Saudi Arabia, Golden Boy Promotion, all this different shit, but he ended up back at the PBC. But that does mean that he was entertaining offers from other people. And don't forget, if Conor wouldn't have got his ass whooped, this fight wouldn't have happened. Appreciate that, Danny. Sup, Ring. As someone who supports the sport of boxing, like paying for my year at DAZN, would I be a hypocrite to share a stream the Wilder? I'm going to tell you what, bro. We're consumers, right? As consumers, we have rights. We have the right to protest things that we don't like. So if that's your way of protesting a fight that you don't believe in, go ahead. Go ahead. Like, I ain't no saint, bro. I don't. It's a lot of shit that I seen before. Like, nah, I'm going to see it, but I ain't going to pay for it. I'm going to see it. I ain't going to say what, because I ain't stupid, and I ain't going to incriminate myself. But I feel you. If I think a fight is good, if I think it's worth it, I have no issues paying for it if it's worth it. But if it's some sucker-ass, dumbass shit, yo, if I don't end up seeing it some other way, yo, I might go to sleep. I might go, like the night of Davis versus Barrios, bro, I might go to sleep. Like, what the fuck I look like staying up to see that shit? I catch the highlights in the morning. I'm going to tell you what. I'm more excited for Hooney versus Galen than I am about Davis versus Barrios. That's a way better fight. I'm more excited for Tim Tszyu versus Michael Zarafa than I give a fuck about Davis' fight. That's a bullshit ass fight. People just can't keep paying pay-per-view. DAZN, yeah, man, like Wilder, yeah, man, like that's price gouging, bro. Remember, they whole shit was, oh, PBC supposed to bring back free boxing my ass. Nobody puts out, like, you couldn't make this up. Y'all started out talking about make boxing free again and all of that, and now nobody puts out more pay-per-views than y'all. Literally nobody. Nobody. That's wild to me, bro. That Teofimo card, I mean, look, I already told y'all, I don't expect y'all to like all the different shit that I like. I'm not paying for Teofimo versus Cambosos. I'm paying for Franchon Cruz versus Aline Cedar Rules. That's literally the only reason I'm buying the card. And it's only because that's probably going to be the best fight on the whole fucking card. Probably. Hey, what's goody, Sean? The Zone kill pay-per-view contrary. I mean, it ain't dead yet. It ain't dead yet. We'll see. I'll tell you what. That Pacquiao versus Spence fight is really going to tell us what we need to know about pay-per-view. It is. Because if that shit, that's a big fight. It's a big fight. Call it what it is. You could feel how you feel about Manny. You could feel how you feel about Errol. But that's two of the biggest names in the welterweight division. So you want to pay attention to those numbers. You want to see what they are. Because that'll tell you where it's at. They're like, damn, if you could get Manny and Errol on a pay-per-view, and this is what it brings, that'll tell you what you need to know. You think Regis Prograrius will stay at 140? I mean, look, here's another thing you got to remember. Undisputed is tomorrow night, right? The winner of that fight is not going to stay at 140 pounds. So if you're Regis, what you got to ask yourself is, yo, where do I stand a better chance of picking up a world title right now? 140 or 147? You know where. 140. All the belts at 147 is tied up. You're not going to get a fight with none of them guys. I mean, like, you could fight Crawford, but you're not going to tell me that you went to Triller because you looking for a Crawford fight. Nah, I don't think he looking for that. The belts that's most accessible to Regis right now is about to be the 140-pound belts. Regis ain't even that big a super lightweight or junior welterweight. He not that big. He's stocky, but he not that big. So look, if I'm Regis, I stick around 140 waiting for them belts to go vacant. If it takes too long, you could always move up. But right now, he's standing a better chance of picking up a belt at 140 than 147. You had your people call Jack Catterall like, yo, Jack, let's fight, B. I know you in a pole position for the WBO, right? Let's get this money. Let's fight. Because I really don't think that the winner of that fight is going to stay there and fight Jack Catterall. They're going to give him the okie doke and split. Like, man, fuck, I look like staying here to fight you. Hold this empty belt. Hold this vacant title. Regis is not looking for belts. He's looking. That's another thing. Like that's another thing. Like I ain't even going front. He is looking for paydays. I don't disagree with you, Lennox. I do agree. He's looking for paydays. But at the same time, them belts can help him get paydays. And it's minimal effort because they about to go vacant. It ain't like he going to have to go through somebody to get it. The winner of that fight ain't going to stay at 140. I don't believe that shit for a second. I prefer to wait for verification by the PBC. We're all pumped for Spence Pacquiao fight. Once bitten. True. Broner and Tank are not trying to fight Pro. Of course not. Bro, Prograis will fucking kill Tank, bro. You crazy? He will beat the shit out of him. I got to get Regis Prograrius on this show. Taylor might defend his undisputed title in Scotland. I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe that. And it's not because I think, oh, this and that. It's just, come on, dog. Like, really, I'm gonna stay here and cut this weight again and all of that for Jack Catterall? For Jack Catterall. I'm doing all that for Jack Catterall. Nah, I don't believe that. I don't know what Broner gonna do. He better call Ryan Kavanaugh, see if he could get a Triller fight. Have somebody beat his motherfucking ass for some money. Elvis Rodriguez Elvis is good money. Who would win? Chris Farley, Tommy Boy versus Chris Farley, Black Sheep. I ain't see Tommy Boy. I seen Black Sheep. Usyk is demanding super high purse now to fight AJ. I'm surprised at that. But what's the number? What kind of money does he want? What's the number? Is T.O. still getting the winner of Taylor versus Ramirez? Nah, this is what I'm saying, Sean. What kind of number is he looking for? He wants 25%. I'm pretty sure they'll give him 25%. I'm getting the impression that he wants more than 25%. I trust Usyk and Joshua will. Yeah, that'll happen, man. That'll happen. They ain't on no. Those guys is not on no. Those is Olympians, bro. Those is Olympians. That tells you what you need to know about their character and their drive. Usyk is a gold medalist. Joshua is a gold medalist. They not with the fuckery and the grabassery and all that shit. They ain't with the gimmicks. They just fight. Do you think if Taylor wins, he'll give Regis a rematch? Because I like Regis, but I don't think he's going to get that rematch. I think if Taylor wins, he's going to move up and fight Crawford. That's honestly what I think. Have you ever heard of Breedis' manager offering Ringo Paul a catchweight title shot? If Ringo loses, he quits. Real? You talking about Jake Paul? Yeah, I heard about that shit. Usyk and his team are looking to cash out versus AJ. That has always been the case. They're going to drag this out, this negotiation, which is incredibly stupid because he's a mandatory. But you know how Eddie could play it, Lennox. Oh, you don't like the offer? Let's go to purse bid and see who bid on the fight. Let's see who bids for the fight more than us. And when nobody's able to pay AJ's purse, it stays at Matchroom, and you gotta eat it. And if you don't want to eat it, you know the IBF will just bump you off. Like, yo, we won the purse bid. This is what it is. He not happy, so he want to. I walk then, motherfucker. Walk. Usyk, who's sick now, things that get in the neighborhood of Saudi money, and unfortunate. Yeah, he don't want to understand. Yo, I'm gonna tell you what. I don't think it's Usyk. I think it's Krasiuk. I don't think it's Usyk. I think it's Krasiuk. Krasiuk was the one talking about, yeah, we're going to give Joe Joyce 90-10. Get the fuck out of here. Come on now. Like, you really can't expect to make a fight saying shit like that. You can't expect to make a fight saying shit like that. I imagine he is very angry at that shit, Daniel Vasquez. I imagine that he probably mad than a motherfucker right now. He punching air over there in Nebraska. Motherfucking Spence. I dig it, Ralph, but at the same time, we gotta be real, bro. Any welterweight in the welterweight division would have did the same thing that Errol did. Because we talking about Manny. I ain't talking about Sean. I ain't talking about Mike. I ain't talking about none of that weak shit. I'm saying any welterweight that could fight Manny Pacquiao will fight Manny Pacquiao. So I can't even hold him to that. Like, yo, I mean, Crawford will fight Manny just as easily as fucking Spence would fight him. So I can't knock him for that. Lizardo versus Barrera. Let's get mild. Yo, that's not even a bad fight. But to me, that fight should have happened a year ago. Like, yo, yeah, you fighting Barrera. Not bad, but you should have been fighting guys like this a long time ago, Zerto. Like, you held your own shit up. You held your own shit up. You left Top Rank, start your promotional company, ditch it so you could go to Golden Boy? All right, bro. All right, bro. Let me see what's going on Twitter. Tiara Brown went to Rick Ramos. I'm very happy about that. I mentioned it in a video. I don't know if y'all seen it. It's probably like 3 videos ago. I've been burning the midnight oil, getting the content out, but that's mostly because so much news is coming in that it's like, oh, damn, it's a lot of news. Fights is getting called off. Fights is getting made. People shooting for undisputed. It's wild out here, man. It's gonna be tough, man. Oh shit, it's going down in the comments. Tyrese Bowie got Pacquiao winning. Rough Draft has Errol Spence winning. What, I don't know why motherfuckers act like they in love with Spence, bro. That shit is so weird to me, bro. That shit is mad weird to me. Like, motherfuckers act like they really want to, like, give him a sponge bath. Like, yo, get off his dick, bro. Like, some shit is just weird, man. Who else can Joshua fight if it's not Usyk? Whoever the next highest ranked contender is. If Usyk fucks this up for himself, you got to remember, let's say Usyk wants a number that Eddie is not willing to pay. What happens then is the IBF will call a purse bid. When they call a purse bid, Matchroom is going to put up the same money that they already put up, and it's going to be up to someone else to put up more money than them. If they don't, which is likely, if no one shows up because they can't afford to pay Anthony Joshua, it's going to be what it is. Now, in that situation, if you still not happy, you know that you forfeiting your title shot. That's what happens. If it goes to, if you don't come to a deal by the deadline and it goes to a purse bid, then it gets to the purse bid and Matchroom is the only one that put up a bid and nobody can match it or nobody wants to, yo, that's it, bro. It's done. So you either going to take what's there or you ain't going to fight. You going to lose your spot. It's that simple. That's what the story is, Punch Quote. That's what the story is. Yeah, I keep saying IBF. I don't know why the fuck I keep saying IBF. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's WBO. My fault. I don't know why I keep saying that. Bundu and Van Heerden, recent memory. How long ago did Manny fight a southpaw? Long time, man. Long time. Paxi Spence as an yeah, I believe that Antonio, because that wasn't that long ago. He was talking about Errol was too slow. He said that like what 3 months ago. Errol is too slow. Nah, he won't let that happen, bro. Before I go, I want undisputed heavyweight title. Yo, so do I, bro. But I honestly don't believe we're gonna get that in this cycle. You want my honest opinion? We won't see an undisputed champion with this cycle of heavyweights. Whether Fury wins, whether Wilder wins, it won't happen. Manny isn't an orthodox guy. Spence is. Who said Manny was orthodox, Sean? I didn't. I didn't. Mando Solo, exactly. Manny gonna get beat up on. Yeah, he probably is, man. It's been 2 years since that motherfucker had a fight. I hope he took some pads. Oops. Hope he took some steroids, because he gonna fucking need them. I remember when individuals were complaining about Manny Pacquiao holding that WBA belt hostage, and they were happy when he was stripped. My oh my, how the tables. Yo, Bombs Boxing ain't never lie. They was hurrying for him to get stripped. Now the same people that wanted him to get stripped, they want him to have the belt so that Errol could win it from him. Dick riding, man. Dick riding. Dick, this is a weird jet, but he's 100% right. Errol Spence's fanatics was calling for Manny Pacquiao to be stripped because they felt that he would never fight Errol. Now that he about to fight Errol, them same dick riders is calling for Manny to be elevated to champion. I don't know who raised these dudes, B. I really don't. Like, yo, you just really on that man's dick, B. If that shit ain't the truth, if this shit ain't the motherfucking truth, the PBC, yeah, it's a disease, the boxing, man. It's a disease, the boxing. Ugas is clutching his WBA. Yeah, but they probably demoted him. You think the WBA won't demote him? They'll demote his ass in a minute so they can be a part of that fight. Also, what Southpaws has Manny beat? David Diaz is the last. Damn, that's a long time ago. From a long time ago. If Spence does not demolish by Pac, if he goes up to 160, they'll beat the shit out of his ass at 154. That dude is well overrated. I've been saying that, like, yo, I don't know if he could beat a guy. Like right now, if you told me, yo, Brian Castano versus Errol Spence, right now, the way they are right now, yo, Spence, I seen gets beat. He get beat. Fucking Castano was giving Lara fits. Like, really, if he wins this fight with Manny, right? And I said this in a video I just did, which is why I didn't want to talk about it, but I said it in a video I did that if he beats Manny, because Manny ain't fought nobody in 2 years. He's 42 years old. You beating him don't mean shit. The only way this fight means something is if he beat you. But if you beat him, who you beat? A 42-year-old retiree, a semi-retired fighter? That shit don't fool me. Only way that fight means something is if Manny beat you. If you beat him, it don't mean shit. If he beat you, yo, this cat beat unbeaten Thurman. Now he beat unbeaten Errol. I don't even talk about, like, really? That's the most that I've talked about the welterweight division in recent memory, because I don't even talk about that division no more. I'm like, for what, dog? So I could talk about all the shit that's not happening. It was a whole bunch of stories that came out about Sean Porter, things that Sean said about the Crawford fight, things that Kenny Porter said about the Crawford fight and what happened and what didn't happen and what was said. And I didn't even bother with that shit, or I put it on the back burner for other stories that was out there, because I'm like, yo, what am I talking about? Bunch of fights that's not going to happen? Come on, B. I'm tired of doing that. Shout out to Dave Grace's 6 Tarantulas. Jonathan Lamborena. If Spence gets 3 belts, I'm getting fucking sleepy. Do you think Thurman and Spence fighting style is similar? No, not at all. Spence actually has a jab, and he uses it often. Keith is on some, like, I don't even know, like some semi-athletic, semi-Jones Jr. type of just weird off-brand shit. Like, PBC killed the welterweight division for me. Yeah, I don't get hype off that. Like, yo, if it was 2018, I was hype off that division, man. I was hype. Like, yo, it's a wrap. 2018, 2017. Now, I'm like, yo, this shit is depressing, bro. This is the division where America has the most fighters. And the best fight, you literally have people acting like it's not the best fight. Like, nah, this is the fight, bro. Spence and Crawford, that's the fight. But after 2 years of watching people shit on Crawford and shit on that fight, it's like, bro, like, what I'm excited about, bro. That these motherfuckers on the other side don't even want to see that fight because they scared of what's going to happen. That's some weird other shit. No problem, Reynaldo. Pacquiao Crawford was never going to happen. Manny was front. And remember, Heyman paid his tax bill, and that's why he didn't just sign. Yeah, I remember that. If you want my honest opinion, right? And I do this lightly because I really can't criticize Manny at this age if he is being a little bit careful. Because at the same time, yo, look, he took on unbeaten Thurman. He's about to fight unbeaten Errol Spence Jr., right? I can't nitpick that. I know what I'm thinking. They're like, yo, you'll fight Errol before you fight Bud. And I always thought that. Like, yeah, you'll fight Errol before you fight Bud because you know that Errol is more beatable. He is more beatable. He's basic. Like, he's basic, bro. I'm sorry. Y'all think that every fighter that look a certain way is special. No, he's basic. He's basic. Like Jamal. Jamal is basic. You know, basic. Good jab, good right hand, decent uppercuts. He can move a little bit, but he basic. Do weight bully ain't gonna bully Manny 73? Well, I mean, if this fight is happening, it's happening on Manny's terms. If this fight is happening, you know that motherfucking shit. You know that. This is Manny motherfucking fight. This ain't Spence fight. This is Manny pay-per-view. This ain't Spence pay-per-view. This is the Manny show. Crawford scared of any top. I don't know why you saying that when they offered Danny Garcia the fight and Danny Garcia's own father was on camera copping a plea, talking about why you worried about PBC welterweights. They asked Danny, yo, Danny, you know you number one with the WBO, right? Like, so they trying to make it look like I'm ducking. I ain't worried about that fight. I'm not a champion. I can fight who I want. That's literally what came out of his mouth. Y'all got to stop with that sucker shit. You better go somewhere. You better go somewhere else. I got a long archive of sucker shit that they've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years, the Crawford. They literally told this man, yo, you number one with the WBO. What he said, so what? I'm not the champion. I could fight who I want. He the champion. He the one with the mandatories. Like, really? When he had the red blazer. You chose to fight Adrian Granados and Ivan Redkach instead of Crawford. And don't tell me, oh, well, he fought Spence. Yo, if you like your chances against Crawford, you would have fought them both. Wasn't nobody stopping you. It's not either or. It's that you don't think you can beat him, so you don't want to know. Like, nah, I ain't going to fight Crawford. I'm going to fight Granados and Redkach. Of course he'll kill Danny, bro. Of course he'll kill Danny, bro. That dude is basic, bro. Like, Errol is basic, man. Like, they acting like that dude look like Sweet Pea. Like, he don't look like Sweet Pea. He don't look like Leonard. He don't. He basic. He good basic fighter. Very good. Very good. But, nah, he ain't what y'all think he is. PBC and Top Rank are always worried about the next man. I mean, they in competition with each other. They have to worry about the next man. That's what competition is, bro. They never not in competition with each other. They're always in competition with each other. That's the nature of the beast. PBC is weird because they want to live outside of competition. You don't want to compete with Matchroom. You don't want to compete with Top Rank. And that's why you weird out of everybody, because Golden Boy will put their fighter in there with a Top Rank fighter. Top Rank will put their fighter in there with a mat. They don't care. That's how it's supposed to be. But when you always on some nah, when you, it's always occasional that you'll let somebody go somewhere. Like, yo, I was glad that they let Brian Castano go to Golden Boy for that fight. Because, like, yo, that's good. I commend y'all for that. Y'all need to do that more often. Ain't nobody believe that shit, Aldo. That motherfucker couldn't knock out Mikey Garcia. I don't want to hear none of that goofy Errol Spence cocksucker shit. That motherfucker fought a fat lightweight and couldn't score a knockdown. Ain't no excuse for that shit. You can say whatever the fuck you talking about. I know one motherfucking thing. Mikey Garcia fought Roman Martinez and got dropped on his ass. He fight Errol. He pumping his fists at the end of every round. Like he won a round. The reason he has no power now, he used to have power, Roman. The reason he has no power now is because he needs to move up. It's getting to be that time. That's why he does. That's why he's not showing no power. The same shit happened to Jarrett Hurd in the Julian Williams fight. You've been at that weight way too long, and you just want to stay there because you working off a script. They gonna tell you when they want you to move up. It's based on their script. It ain't based on you and your body and where you need to be at the way it's supposed to be. It's based on where they want you to go. Same shit is happening to Charlo at 160. He need to move up. That's another goofy ass question. Don't ask me no goofy ass question. If he offered Danny to fight and Danny say no, what the fuck you want him to do? Seriously. If he offered Danny to fight and Danny say no, what the fuck do you want him to do? Keith Thurman on camera said they offered him to fight on AB News. He said ESPN called him. They're like, yo, you want a Crawford fight? He wasn't interested. So what the fuck do you want him to do? If you calling people and like, yo, you want to fight? And they like, no. Well, how the fuck is he going to have a resume there if they don't want to fight? How much does Artur bet? Not a lot. Not a lot. And it's not his fault. He's had a hard luck career. Not a lot. Porter's the only one I can't make excuses for. But then again, I don't know everything about that situation. I don't. I seen Kenny Porter say some shit, and I wanted to look into it, and I still have to look into it because I haven't had the chance. And I seen Sean say some shit. Sean said, I did not go to Crawford the way I should have. I fed into the X, Y, and Z. That's out of Porter's own mouth, bro. I ain't making none of that shit up. The interview is out there. He said, I didn't handle that situation the right way. That's out of his own mouth. So you need to ask yourself why you so comfortable pigeonholing this guy. Nothing that's like most of the shit that I'm telling you, you could look it up. It ain't no secrets. This is an interview that they just did with Sean not that long ago. And he said, I did not handle that situation properly. I could have handled it better. I should have went to him. Maybe I will. That's what he said. His father was saying some other shit. Oh, damn. That's fucked up. Y'all ain't right for that. Nakatani versus Loma is a great fight, man. That's a great fucking fight. Who is Porter fighting? He said he just signed on to this podcast. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know who he gonna fight. Like, who you gonna fight? Ugas again? Danny again? Thurman again? Who you gonna fight? Jamal James? Jaron Ennis? Who you gonna fight? I ain't gonna lie. I like Porter versus Ennis. I don't know if that's who he gonna fight, but if they make that, yeah, I'll watch it. Jamal James, I don't really think Jamal James is gonna go all the way, but yeah, that's just me. Josecito Lopez. I mean, that's a pointless fucking fight. And this isn't getting any top PBC fight. Yeah, they won't. They're not going to fight that dude just to be fighting that dude, bro. They not like that. If it was top rank, you would see that. They're like, yeah, yo, we got to test Ennis against Porter. We gotta make that fight because they know how to groom fighters. PBC not going to do that. He not going to, like, I wish they would. If they did, I ain't going to be mad at that, but I don't see that shit happening. He a welterweight, Jed. He a welterweight. I mean, like I said, he's not a bad fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's not a bad fighter, but I don't see a guy that's gonna go all the way. He's not a bad fighter though. To say that would be wrong. Yeah, you're right, Jimmy. Look, he didn't have to put Josh Kelly in there with Avanesian. Like, he could have caught that whole shit off. Josh Kelly didn't even have a bunch of fights. That dude had like, what, 10, 11 fights? You didn't have to put him in there with that dude. Why ain't the fight happening in Arlington, Texas? Guess Errol can't sell it. Oh. I mean, I said it the other day, man. Canelo is the king of Texas, man. I don't know why they was talking shit about that, man. That's the king of Texas. Y'all better recognize Cash Money Canelo Cartel. How do you think Ramirez looks to you? He looks weight drained. Those kind of anecdotes before a weigh-in, unless it's very dramatic, like David Lemieux, you know, like how he looked like the last couple of times he tried to make middleweight that he looked dead. Unless it's like that, it's anybody's guess, bro. They both is big for 140. Josh Taylor's like fucking 5'11", 6 feet at 140. Motherfucking Jose is 5'10" at 140. The both of them dudes is huge for that division. So it's like, yeah, they gonna look gone. They gonna look great because they big for that weight. That's the other shit. Wasn't Spence born on the East Coast or some shit? Fake Texan? Spence should walk out Israel. Yo, your cast is merciless, B. Slow like Biden yesterday. Y'all not right. Yeah, he was born in New York, right? Cyberpunk. He not even really like for real Texas. He was just born there. I mean, he was just raised there. Taylor will be another victim of the. Nah, I don't know. Y'all gotta stop believing that goofy shit y'all read on Twitter, man. The curse that y'all talking about, you realize he beat Regis Prograis, right? You realize that. And Regis is a huge puncher. You see, he fought. It's like, bruh, this dude resume is nuts because he don't have a lot of fights. Ryan Martin, Victor Postal, Regis Prograis, Ivan Baranchik, O'Hara Davies. Now he about to nah, y'all cats is wilding. Like, that ain't motherfucking Josh Warrington out there. I'm just gonna tell y'all that. Don't think that. That's a roaring Capricorn. That's my Capricorn brother up there, B. Y'all better respect that shit. Usyk is a Capricorn too, though. But he on some other shit right now. Alexis is going for the Mexican fighter right now. Alexis Ribeiro. He think that Jose Ramirez is going to beat Josh. We shall see, man. That's the fun part. The fun part is not knowing and being able to watch. That's more fun to me than me sitting here being 100% confident. Yeah, man, that motherfucker. Now, I don't want to be that confident before a fight, dog. A part of me don't want to know. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm watching, because I don't fucking know. Josh Taylor does have great mentality for boxing. Yo, them Scots don't be playing, man. They built the wall to keep their ass out, man. Them Scots is about that life, man. They are with the shits. They with it. Charlemagne sent a cease. Oh, wow. Yo, Kwame is making all kinds of news, man. Kwame is making all kinds of news. He talking hella shit. That should be well funny, though. This is a sick photo. Jerry Jones. Jerry, an old motherfucker. Yeah, but the thing is, you right, Sneezy. He does struggle with movers, but movers and jabbers. Guys that's going to keep you long distances, keep you out. That's not Josh. Josh jab his way in. He step into his jab and try to hit you with short little hooks and shit like that. That's how I know it's going to be a good-ass fight. Because when Josh jab, he not trying to get away from you. He trying to jab his way in. So if you trying to jab your way in and Jose is coming forward, yo, y'all going to have a motherfucking war. Yeah, but then again, he's with Ben Davison. That's what fuck it up for me. Like, I wish he was still with Shane McGuigan. Low key, I ain't big on Ben Davison, man. What you gonna have him doing? Fainting and shit? Peyton is like, come on, bro. Like don't try to turn him into something else, man. He ain't get there being something else. He got there being who he is. Let him be that. I heard some shitty. Oh, we gonna fight a smart fight. What the fuck that mean, man? What does that shit mean, man? I really hope the winner Taylor Ramirez stays at 140. I don't think they will, bro. I would like that so that they could keep his little whole ass from winning a belt, but I can't see the winner of that fight staying there. To fight who? You could say, yeah, to fight Lopez. Okay, how long is that going to take? You could say to fight Tank. Yeah, right, like they going to let the winner of that fight. Yeah, right, like they going to let Tank fight the winner of that fight. Be real. They didn't want to let him go in there with Tevin Farmer. They're going to let him go in there with the winner of that fight? No. This basically a who want. Yeah, I agree, Danny. That's exactly that's what it's gonna come down to. Who's tougher, who's rougher, and who wanted more. Because they both mid-range to inside fighters, so it's gonna be all right. Who's better here? I'm gonna say this. Josh's punches is shorter. They shorter and they tighter. Jose throw a lot of wide ass shots, but I feel like Jose take a better punch than Josh. That he's like tougher and more durable. So it's a bitch, man. It's a goddamn bitch with big old legs. Man, I don't know, Kevin. It's wild out here, B. Motherfuckers is canceling Undisputed, having Undisputed, fucking Spence fighting Pacquiao. It's wild out here. Yeah, he only won secondary belts, bro. Like that shit, like his career is like, bro, like I'm like, yo, look, it got to the point to where like if you tell me that you a Tank fan, I low-key look at you like, why? You must like his tattoos. Cause his opponents ain't shit. So you must just like his tattoos. That gotta be it. Cause you know damn good and well his opponents ain't shit. You know that. The fuck you ever seen Tank in a fight you thought he could lose? When? When? Even the Pedraza fight, motherfuckers felt like, nah, he gonna win. That's real shit. Like, I'm like, yo, if you like Tank, I'm gonna look at you like, yo, what do you like about Tank? You like his face? Like what, you like his tattoos? Cause I know it ain't like cause he be fucking motherfuckers. Like he's fighting no hopers. Appreciate that, David Grace. It's not like he's in these exciting fucking fights that you need to be excited about. Like, nah, he fighting people that you know don't stand a chance. Like, you know that. That's right, Karma. You got him on the path to success. Like, just keep putting him in there with guys that don't stand a fucking chance, and motherfuckers will just look at his tattoos. I'm dead. Like, look, low-key confessions of an interviewer. When Chantel Cameron told me that she's a Tank fan, I was like, why? Like, why? I wanted to ask her, like, why? His fights is trash. You really a fan of him? I'm a huge fan of you, but how the fuck are you a fan of him? His fights is trash. That shit bugged me out when she said that. I was like, yo, you really a Tank fan? Wow. Shit. He remind me of Lil Zane. Y'all remember Lil Zane from way back when? He don't look like Tank. I ain't saying that. I'm saying that he remind me of Lil Zane, B. Nah, but I respect the hell out of her. So when she said that, it threw me off. Cause I respect the hell out. Like shit, man. I've been a fan of that girl for years, man. Shit, when she was with Cyclone Promotions and she used to wear the white kit, the white and gold kit. Had the 2 French braids. I've been a fan of her for a minute, so when she said that, I was like, really? Yo, if you look at the interview, you could see that I'm like that shit hurt. Like, really? You a fan of Tank? Yo estoy viendo el Espíritu Santo que está por ahí, que cuando yo miro para allá el Espíritu Santo que yo estoy mirando. I mean, it's so sad because, yo, I agree with you, Kevin Jones. And I say it all the time. After the Pedraza fight, I really thought, wow, man, this kid's going to be, like, legendary. And then, no. Cuellar, Ruiz, Fonseca. Fucking, who was the other guy? It was Cuellar, Ruiz, Fonseca. Who's the other cat, man? Who was the other cat? He just fought a bunch of guys that you like, yo, why you even fucking fighting that dude, bro? Yeah, he remind me of Lil Zane, Avery. He remind me of Lil Zane. It's just because, remember, Lil Zane was a little motherfucker. Like, he's just like a little compact motherfucker. That's Tank. He like a little compact, stocky motherfucker. What does Floyd always say? Well, who has he beat? Yeah. But look. The other thing you got to realize is this, right? Let's just put the fuckery aside. You know that Floyd knows the truth about his fighter. Floyd's career was nothing like Tank's career. Y'all know that. Like, even if you don't like what Floyd became, you know when he was young, he was fighting everybody, bro. Manfredi, motherfucking Corrales, Castillo, Zab Judah. He was fighting everybody, bro. Gennaro. His career was not like Tank's. His career was not like Tank's. So you think that he don't know that they protected him? That he knows it, but he got to promote his fighter. Like, what you want Floyd to do in there? Like, what you want him to? Man, I know Tank ain't shit. I know that, but I don't want somebody fucking his ass up, so he got to fight Ruiz. He gonna do that Leonard Ellaby shit. That's Leonard Ellaby's favorite shit to do. He he really do that shit. Like, you'll ask him some shit and he'll be like, nah, man, I ain't Puerto Rican, man. I'm Dominican. I know I don't look like your average Dominican, but then again, I'm not your average Dominican. Now, when he was Pretty Boy, he was a monster, right? Like, you low-key, like, it ain't even Floyd Appreciation Day. It's just the truth. When he was the same age as Tank now, right, and all of that before that, yo, he was a monster, bro. Like, he was a monster. The guys that Davis is fighting, right, them dudes, that's not how Floyd's career was. It wasn't all careful and shit like that. Motherfuckers being all careful with you. Hell no. Well, you don't know enough about Dominicans to say that shit, Sin. The Gaddy fight was sad. Yeah, he fought Gaddy, but that was more about the payday. That was more about crossing over and having a fight with a big name. It won't happen, Metal Box J. She about to have her MMA debut in June. My guess is that fight don't happen till early next year, if it happens at all. If it happens at all. When the zone offered $5 million for Tank to fight Farmer, Ellaby responded, he won't. Yeah. Exactly, Lord. Exactly. And like I always say this about that fight, I have nothing against Tevin Farmer. I'm just saying that was actually a winnable fight for Tank. And you telling me that your people is so averse to competition, they won't even let you fight Tevin Farmer for $5 million. That's crazy. Like, bro, that was light. That's like, yo, they really scared to death that somebody gonna beat you. It'll happen, but I don't think it'll happen this year. If it do happen, if it happen, it won't be this year. I don't think that. That's well, right? That's well, right? Come on, yo. They offered him. They didn't stop at 5. They said, yo, you want what you want? 8? We got 8 for you, and they didn't let him take it. Like, bro, like motherfuckers. Remember when that shit was going on? Motherfuckers tried to act like Eddie Hearn was playing with funny money. It wasn't nothing funny about that fucking money. They gave fucking Mikey Garcia 7-8 million that fucking money. Why the fuck you think he went over there? They offered this cat $8 million to fight Tevin Farmer, and he didn't take it. Like, you a bonehead. That's real shit, bro. I'm like, yo, you let them fuck up that paper for you? It's $8 million for Tevin Farmer. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. Tank gonna end up losing to someone he had no business. Yo, word up, Kevin. Fuck around, it might be Barrios. Fuck around. We see that Tank's power at 135. It's not what it is at 130. That's why you won 12 rounds with Gamboa, because your power didn't go up with you. I don't know what's gonna happen in that Barrios fight. I'm being honest. I don't know. But because his power didn't carry to 35, what's gonna happen to you at 40? Yeah, the zone was so thirsty for Lord. Yeah. They was offering crazy fucking money for fights. That's the same time. Remember, they offered Tank 8 million for the Farmer fight. They offered Charlo motherfucking 7 million for the Andre fight. They gave Jose Ramirez $4 million to fight Maurice Hooker. They was just throwing money at motherfuckers at that time, and they really didn't let Tank take it. I'm like, yo, y'all motherfuckers is crazy. Y'all crazy. That's true. That motherfucker been dropped like 16 times. He did, though. He really did. You right. He got that 7 million. Got out of there, B. Like, nah, all right, I'm good, y'all. Holla at y'all. I see y'all. God bless. No, I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Kevin. I'm like, yo, it's like, that's a shitty fight. Let's keep it a bean. It's like, it looked like a shitty fight because it's like, yo, it's time for you to start fighting names, and you still really not doing that. And don't tell me that Leo was a name. Like, no, bro, no. Leo was a name for Gary. What he was for you was a little dude that moved up in weight. That's what he was for you. It could go wrong. Let's put it that way. It could go wrong because we see what happened when he went to 35. The power didn't come up with him. So if you go up to 40, I don't know. Anyway, I'm about to take my ass to sleep, y'all. Pew.